Before embarking on the journey from a secure job to the unpredictable world of business, it's crucial to understand that this transition is more than a change of title. It's a transformation of mindset, habits, and expectations. Many dream of leaving the 9-to-5 grind behind, envisioning freedom, wealth, and fulfillment. But without the right preparation, this leap can feel more like a free fall. Here are 7 essential lessons you must know before making this career move, told through the inspiring story of someone who walked this path, someone much like you. Our story begins with Anil, a mid-level manager at a reputable tech firm. For nearly a decade, Anil had climbed the corporate ladder, earning promotions, respect, and a comfortable salary. Yet, as the years passed, a growing sense of restlessness gnawed at him. The same tasks, the same meetings, the same office politics, it became a rhythm that left him yearning for more. He dreamed of running his own business, of building something from scratch, of making a mark in the world. But dreams are easy. Reality is a different beast. Lesson 1. Understand your why. Before Anil could even think of resigning, he needed to confront the first and most fundamental question. Why did he want to start a business? Was it just the allure of independence? Or was there a deeper drive, a purpose that would sustain him through the inevitable hardships? After much reflection, Anil realized his true motivation was to create a platform that empowered young tech professionals to upskill and find jobs in emerging fields. This clarity became his North Star, guiding every decision and fueling his resolve when doubts crept in. Without a strong personal why, the challenges ahead would have easily overwhelmed him. Lesson 2. Embrace the reality of risk. The comfort of a steady paycheck can make the world of business seem terrifyingly uncertain. Anil was no stranger to risk, but he underestimated just how much his corporate job insulated him from failure. In business, there are no guarantees. Revenue ebbs and flows. Customers come and go. One poor decision can set you back months, even years. Anil spent months saving aggressively, cutting unnecessary expenses, and building a financial cushion that would see him through the lean times. He learned to accept uncertainty, not as something to be feared, but as an inescapable part of the entrepreneurial journey. Lesson 3. Develop a learner's mindset. In a job, expertise is often rewarded. In business, expertise is only the beginning. Anil discovered that he had to become a perpetual student, learning about marketing, sales, finance, and leadership, often all in the same day. He attended workshops, devoured books, sought mentors, and joined entrepreneurial communities. Every setback became a lesson, every success a stepping stone. The willingness to learn, adapt, and pivot was what allowed him to survive, and eventually thrive, in an environment that was always in flux. Lesson 4. Build resilience and expect setbacks. The road from job to business is rarely straight. Anil's first business idea flopped. He underestimated the competition and overestimated demand. It was a humbling experience, one that shook his confidence. But failure, he realized, was not the end. It was feedback. He analyzed what went wrong, made adjustments, and tried again. The second time, he faced new challenges: cash flow issues, hiring missteps, and doubts from friends and family. Each obstacle tested his resilience, but he pressed on, learning to weather storms with patience and grit. He came to see setbacks not as personal defeats, but as inevitable parts of growth. Lesson 5. Master the art of selling. No matter how brilliant your product or how noble your mission, a business cannot survive without sales. Anil, an introvert by nature, initially struggled with the idea of selling, pitching to clients, negotiating deals, and networking at events. But he soon realized that selling was not about manipulation, but about solving real problems for real people. He learned to listen deeply, understand client needs, and communicate value with authenticity. As his confidence grew, so did his client base. Sales became not just a survival skill, but a source of pride and satisfaction. Lesson 6. Build systems, not just products. In the early days, Anil did everything himself: product development, marketing, customer support, accounting. The workload was overwhelming and unsustainable. He realized that true business success came not from working harder, but from working smarter. He began to document processes, invest in automation tools, and delegate tasks to others. By building systems, he freed himself from the day-to-day grind and focused on growth and strategy. His business became more resilient, scalable, and less dependent on his constant presence. Lesson 7. Nurture your network and seek support. Perhaps the most surprising lesson was the power of community. Anil's journey was filled with moments of doubt and isolation, but as he reached out to mentors, fellow entrepreneurs, and even competitors, he discovered a wealth of support, wisdom, and encouragement. He learned to ask for help, offer value in return, and celebrate the successes of others. His network became a source of new opportunities, partnerships, and friendships that enriched his life far beyond business. Anil's story is not unique, but it is instructive. Each of these 7 lessons was hard-earned, forged in the crucible of real-world experience. They are not mere theories, but lived truths that can help you navigate your own journey from job to business. Let's explore each lesson in greater depth, drawing from Anil's experiences and the timeless wisdom of those who have walked this path before. The first lesson, understanding your why, is the foundation upon which everything else is built. Without a clear sense of purpose, the inevitable challenges of entrepreneurship can feel insurmountable. Anil spent weeks journaling, talking to mentors, and reflecting on what truly mattered to him. He realized that money and status were secondary. What he craved was impact. This purpose gave him the courage to endure late nights, financial uncertainty, and the skepticism of others. It gave meaning to the struggle and transformed obstacles into opportunities for growth. Risk is the shadow that looms over every entrepreneurial dream. In a job, failure is rarely catastrophic. In business, the stakes are higher. Anil's meticulous preparation, building savings, researching the market, and starting his venture as a side project helped him manage risk without being paralyzed by fear. He learned that risk could be calculated, managed, and even embraced as a source of innovation. The key was not to eliminate risk, but to become comfortable with it, to dance with uncertainty rather than run from it. A learner's mindset is the secret weapon of successful entrepreneurs. Anil's willingness to admit what he didn't know and to seek out knowledge relentlessly set him apart. He read voraciously, attended seminars, and surrounded himself with smart, driven people. He learned to ask questions, challenge assumptions, and view mistakes as opportunities for growth. This humility and curiosity allowed him to adapt quickly, pivot when necessary, and stay ahead of the curve in a rapidly changing industry. Resilience is forged in the fires of adversity. Anil's early failures were painful but invaluable. Each setback taught him something new about the market, about himself, about the nature of perseverance. He learned to separate his self-worth from his business outcomes, to see failure as a teacher rather than a judge. Over time, resilience became his superpower, the ability to bounce back stronger, wiser, and more determined than ever. Selling, for many, is the most daunting aspect of entrepreneurship. But Anil's transformation from reluctant salesperson to confident communicator was a game changer. He learned that selling was not about persuasion, but about connection. By focusing on the needs of his clients, he built trust, delivered value, and created lasting relationships. Selling became a natural extension of his mission, a way to serve rather than to pressure. Systems are the backbone of sustainable businesses. Early on, Anil was trapped in a cycle of endless tasks, unable to grow beyond his own capacity. By investing in systems, automating routine work, creating standard operating procedures, and building a reliable team, he gained freedom and flexibility. His business became more efficient, more consistent, and more attractive to customers and investors alike. Finally, the power of relationships cannot be overstated. Anil's willingness to seek help, share his struggles, and celebrate the successes of others created a network of allies who supported him through thick and thin. He learned that entrepreneurship is not a solo journey, but a collaborative adventure. His network provided not just business opportunities, but emotional support, perspective, and inspiration. The journey from job to business is not for the faint of heart. It demands courage, resilience, humility, and above all, a willingness to grow. Each of these 7 lessons, knowing your why, embracing risk, adopting a learner's mindset, building resilience, mastering sales, creating systems, and nurturing your network, are stepping stones on the path to entrepreneurial success. As you contemplate your own career move, remember Anil's story. Let his lessons guide you, inspire you, and prepare you for the adventure ahead. The road will be challenging, but it will also be rewarding in ways you cannot yet imagine. With the right preparation, mindset, and support, you too can make the leap, from job to business, from comfort to fulfillment, from dreams to reality. The world needs more creators, more dreamers, more doers. Are you ready to take the first step? The journey begins with a single decision. The decision to believe in yourself, to learn, to persevere, and to build something meaningful. Your story is waiting to be written. What will your 7 lessons be?